Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Business Hub UG, where we promote businesses in Uganda and help entrepreneurs, business people, and starters navigate through businesses and their challenges by connecting them to business leaders and people that have been there in the business world, the people that have done it, the people that have excelled at it, and people that have topped the business, different business areas that have experienced it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest, and with us is a former police officer who rose through the ranks to the topmost rank as the Assistant Inspector of Police, Assistant Inspector General of Police. He also served as the political commissar. He served as a spokesperson to the police, and also headed the Interpol. Ladies and gentlemen, with us is Asan Kasingye today. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here.
We are glad to have you at Business Hub UG. If we can start, let's start from maybe Shema, where the story starts, where the story of your life begins from.
Yes.
From Shema through you join the police, how you rise through the ranks. Who is Asan?
Wow, Asan is now a 60-year-old man, born on 23rd of March 1964 in a village called Chibingo. Chibingo is at the heart of Shema district. That's where Shema district is stands.
Okay.
I grew up in the village like any other young person.
Yeah.
Looking after cows and goats, and I went to primary, Chibingo Primary School.
Yes.
Went through secondary in Bushenyi at St. Kagwa Bushenyi High School, from senior 1 to senior 6. Basically, you can say that I am raised from the community. I am someone who was educated by everybody in the community. I'm that person. Yeah.
The child of the community.
Yes.
So from Bushenyi, then you transit.
From Bushenyi, after senior 6, I did senior 6. That time we used to do HSC examinations in March. So I finished senior 6 in March 1985.
Okay.
And after that, there was a war where we were cut off. And I couldn't go to Makerere University in 1985 together with the rest, because we were cut off from Katonga, as you know.
Yeah.
And then I went to Makerere University in 1986. Yes, up to 1988. So we studied 2 years.
Okay.
3 years, but in 2 years.
3 years in 2 years.
In 2 years. So you understand that. Yeah, that was my secondary education.
So while in Makerere, what did you study?
Oh, at Makerere I studied Bachelor's of Arts, Social Sciences, and I majored in Political Science and Economics. Yes.
So how do you transit now from Makerere to Uganda Police? Or there was something in the middle between Makerere before you joined police?
That time, I think we're lucky. We're lucky a lot, because Makerere University was the only university in Uganda, probably with a population of about 6,000. And now you're sending like 1,000, maybe not more than 2,000 to the economy, and that means that probably 80% would be absorbed. Now, whenever you finish, they would bring public service interviews, so that you don't go home. The government has been paying for you.
You just transit from university to
yes, they've been paying for you. Makerere University was government sponsored. Everybody was government sponsored.
Wow.
And therefore government would take the first opportunity to have the students get get absorbed.
Oh.
And that's how I applied for a job in the Uganda Police.
Okay.
In my book, I say, out of the 3 forms they gave us, the first form I put police, cadet assistant superintendent of police, the second cadet assistant superintendent of police, and the third cadet assistant superintendent of police. Everybody was, they were mad at me, and they thought that this young man does not understand. Until when, and I insisted, I said, it's either police
or police.
or no application.
But you being able to take that decision where you have the same career appearing on 3 forms seems like it was influenced by something. What influenced that?
It was influenced by the kind of course I was doing. At that time, we had a lot of discussions, public lectures. We had people in government intentionally coming to talk to us. And as I told you, 1986, that very year was the year the NRM government came into power. And we had so many people coming to talk to us intentionally so that we can be able to understand where the country was before, where the country is, and where the country is going. So the focus was on getting young people into government. And many a speaker would come and tell us that government was interested in having young graduates join the security sector. That means the UPDF, the Uganda Police Force, the Uganda Prison Service, and intelligence services. So we had public lectures, we had people from the NRM Secretariat, we had people in government who come and talk to us. And then we also had our own discussions within our class, especially the political science class. We had a lot of discussions. We had a lot of groups. We had formed the NRM study groups. We had we would call people to come and talk to us. People like Mushega, people like Otafire, many people came and talked to us. The IGG at that time, they would come and so. I had realized that there was a need really to add myself to that security terrain, and I had a roommate who was in 3rd year when I was in 1st year, who ended up in the police. Senior commissioner, retired Benjamin Namanya, and then he used to come. I used to see him in a police uniform. That added.
You admired that uniform.
Yes, the motivation.
Yes.
And if you remember, the Uganda Police Force was reduced from about 14,000 to 3,000.
Okay.
So there was a huge gap. And by the time I went to Makere in 1987, so the first group that joined the Uganda Police, more than 100, about 100. The second intake was about 130. So we had so many people who were, I was in Livingstone Hall, so we had so many people who were in Livingstone Hall who had joined the police. People I come with from Shema, people that were together at university, they were now in the police, and I thought, this is it. Yeah, this is
so
it.
Now you joined
but in
police.
between, much as I had already done public service interviews, but I had the opportunity to go with a group of the first university students to go to Chankwanzi. And we spent 3 months to 4 months there. And after the course, again, the motivation was more and more clear.
Chankwanzi, maybe for our viewers, I've done Chankwanzi for 1 month.
Yes.
I went to Chankwanzi. But when you speak about Chankwanzi, what happens there? Because you went there and it changed your motivation. Why did it change your motivation?
It was a school of political education.
Oh, okay.
It was called SOPE, School of Political
Education.
We are guys who had done political education, political science.
Yes.
Now, this is a school of political education. The things we were studying in class, we now, like in a theater of the things that are done in government. We are now, talking to people who are in government. If you're talking about if in class we're talking about decentralization, now we're talking we are talking to people who are in the field. We're talking to central government representative. We're talking to ministers. We're talking to senior UPDF, army officials. We're talking to, so you kind of relate and understand the running of government business, and to be very easy for now to understand what is it that you are going to do, how are you going to do it, what is the expectation of you, working for government. Now, before we actually went to government, it was like a class on how to go and serve government.
And serve government.
Yes.
Given that you have served, then you later transited into the police, you served to the topmost rank.
Yes.
And that is the
Assistant Inspector General
of Police.
Yes.
Regarding the police being Business Hub UG, of course, our interest is so much into the business bit of it. My interest is wanting to understand, as per the laws of Uganda that govern the police, are there any regulations or any policies that regard the police force conducting business or them participating in business and doing businesses?
The police are mainly governed by, let me pick two most important acts. That is the Public Service Act and the Police Act.
Yes.
Okay, so the public service regulations, okay, that's what I mean. The public service regulations that govern other public servants, and the Police Act, and there is no specific section that says that prohibits police officers from doing business. But in there are provisions that talk about police officers being professional. So you must be able to understand that this kind of business I'm doing may conflict with the kind of work that I'm doing. So it's up to you to understand that if I deal with this, it is going to bring me issues. But there is no law that says that you should not do business. And I can testify, I've done business. While I was in uniform.
Okay. Now, maybe something to also pick up is sharing any insights into the role that businesses play in the community. Why I'm asking, my interest is knowing that one of your passion was to actually work with the community, which is something that you did excellently and are still known for the time that you served in the police force.
Thank you.
Yes, you were at the heart of working with the community. I would want to get to understand how you observed how businesses operate in the communities as you worked with the communities in regard to business and the law.
Yes, you're right that my work for the 33 years I served the police was mainly working within communities and working with those communities in order to be able to prevent crimes. So community policing was something that is at deep in my heart up today. Even when I am a member of the community, I'm always trying to help my community to make sure that we work together with the police, rather than having negative attitudes about the police. What is always in the community. Now, communities like community policing and the crime prevention programs were mainly supported and are still supported by the business entities. Look, what business would people have with you if it is not for protecting, not only protecting them as individuals, but also protecting what brings food on their table.
Their businesses.
In countries like the UK, the US, China, Japan, community policing thrives because the business community understand the role or understand security in as far as the development of their businesses. So they come together. First of all, I should tell you that police, someone thinking about the police, the idea was mooted by a British, should I call him a secretary of Interior, called Robert Peel. And that is the time of the Industrial Revolution. At that time, what happened is that businesses would nominate some people. While they are at home, they are not working. Some people who would be working, day shifts or night shifts. These people were not paid. But these people came out of communities to protect the industries, the factories that had come up from thieves, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Until when Robert Peel sat and said, no, look here, can't we have people paid by the government and we give them a distinctive uniform and they begin to protect the communities, to protect the businesses.
Yes.
Okay? And those were community-oriented police, like service. Cops, you hear a police is called a cop.
A cop,
and
yes.
So you ask yourself, why are police called cops? It is community-oriented police.
Yes.
Cop. And so it started from there. Now, transplant it here, juxtapose it here in Uganda, that community policing is mainly supported by businesses, by people in trading centers, wherever they are, because they don't want to go in their homes and they wake up in the morning and their shops are broken into.
Yes.
Schools, especially private schools, these are business entities. Hospitals, the transport industry, all these, factories here and there. So there is a nexus. There is a coexistence of of police services and communities.
And communities.
Look at it this way. If I want to set up an industry in a certain community, the first thing that I want to look at is whether that community is safe, whether that area is
actually safe.
So if it is safe, then I'm going to invest there. If it is in Chiringo village and I want to put a paper industry, I'm going to look at the security of that area.
Yes.
But also the investors who come into the country, before they even bring in their money, they want to find out if the communities are safe and secure. So I found a correlation, a very positive correlation between businesses and community policing.
And community policing.
Yes. Though it is also true that you can have communities where the people who stay together, who also want to make sure that their areas are safe. You remember the community policing program in Muyenga. This was not mainly business oriented, but it was about people within that community, but who are business people, business oriented, and they did everything that should be done to make sure that the area is safe.
Okay, that is a great discovery for me, knowing that actually business gave rise to police.
Yes.
And hence police exists to serve the business community.
Yes, plus others, but since we're talking about businesses, the businesses are more inclined to making sure that they engage the police in order to ensure that their businesses are safe and secure. So if you're building a community policing program and you built it on the businesses that you have, even if they are not profit-oriented businesses, then you are going to have it right. Because look, you have an area with schools, with hospitals, you have an area with factories, you have an area with trading centers, you have an area with the sports facilities. All that they need the police. Now the police can't be everywhere. You are
Yes.
not going to put the police in every
In
so if you are going to have a patrol car move around, the business community in that area would be interested in order to pursue that a patrol car is brought there. Probably this car does not have enough fuel. Okay, so the business community is going to look at how is it that we must have this car run at all the time.
Okay.
It may not be buying fuel, but it may be linking their CCTV kind of program and linking it with the police CCTV center. You understand?
Yes.
So the police is very happy to receive the pictures, if I may, of different business entities, and you can tell what is happening in that community. It makes the work of the police
Very easier.
Okay, how much money would they have put into buying closed circuit television cameras? How much money would they have put in to guard each and every business center there? But community policing becomes easier if you go there and you say, look, your area is so big, we don't have the police. Put private security in the place. We, the police, supervise private security. So they would be talking to private security providers. Why is it that your people are not active in the area where they are supposed to do? Okay, so private security eases the work of the police.
Yes, yes.
So through working together and listening to what police are doing, okay, makes it easier for reduction, if not
crime.
prevention of crime in that area.
So in your working with the community, and especially in the angle of businesses, during the time when you served with the police, what would you say would be your top challenges that you incurred, and could be maybe a call to also the business community now that we are speaking to them on how best they can help police in regard to enforcing the law and also protecting them? The major challenges are in regard to working with the business community.
For me, I think one of the challenges is with the police. The first one, and I will explain. We need to have police officers, especially commanders, be properly sensitized about community policing. I'm glad it is being done within the command training programs that we have. Every command program, it could be intermediate command, it could be senior command. You have community policing as a very, very, very central module. But each and every officer must understand why you need to relate, especially with the business communities, in order to make their areas secure. So once you don't have that, it's a challenge, because you ask yourself how many meetings take place in an area. Let me say there's a police station in Zana, and then you have all these businesses in Zana, and then you finish 6 months, there has never been any single meeting between the OC of that area and his officers with different business entities within Zana. So Chukumbi police station, which is in Zana, is cut off from the rest of the business communities. You don't understand what challenges they have. You don't understand the threats that they face. They too do not understand the challenges that you have as an OC of the area. So when you meet, you have barazas, then you can be able to understand and chart out a way. So challenge number one is for appreciating, for the police officers appreciating the importance of community policing. Challenge number two is for the communities themselves appreciating that they need to continue meeting. One of the reasons why you hear in media and social media and everywhere, people castigating the police is they don't meet, they don't talk. So the only way is just to go to your social media account and castigate the police and say the police here are not doing their work and
that's common on social media
and
these days.
that is what is common.
Yes.
Okay, and let's exhibit. Let's make an exhibition about the police. So police are going to be reading what the people are saying on social media. When it is very, very easy for you to call people in your area and you see it. So that is the first challenge. The second challenge that you're going to have between you and the business communities is that everything people are going to think that the police are the ones that are supposed to do. The business communities must always understand what their role is to make sure that their businesses are safe and secure.
Yes, true.
Right? Putting private security in place, putting cameras in place. Making sure that the structures and everything is done very well. And this brings in the other stakeholders. So it is going to be a challenge if KCCA, for example, does not do their work. If you're setting up an industry or a factory, before you occupy, you must have an occupation certificate.
Yeah, true.
Okay?
Yes.
And I pick one element. Or two. The first element is about the fire safety. You have a factory that is producing, maybe has gases coming out that are likely to result into a huge fire. And at the end of the day, it is the police that is involved. Now the question is, before you begin operating, has KCCA I'm talking about if you are in this
one
area.
Of these examples.
Has KCCA gone there to inspect whether you have in place fire prevention or preventive
equipment, gadgets? Yes.
Yes, it is the police. I understand, but the act. It is the local government. I think it is the local government Act is also given the responsibility of making sure that there is safety, especially fire safety, in areas.
Yes.
Okay? So that is one. But the other one is also the understanding that you must have a perimeter wall, you must have this, you must have this. So stakeholders are also important in businesses, and I have seen that is a challenge.
In regard to businesses, now out of the community, now back to the police, when it comes to doing business, now that we know, given, of course, the incomes, the salaries that are paid up, the incomes, and the inflation that happens around us that is maybe greatly affecting every Uganda, as I would want to understand in the context of police or your time in police, having seen the business that is happening in the communities and the communities carrying out business and you working with them, were you at one point inspired to venture into business while you were in the police force?
Yes.
Yeah. You were. So you actually did some business while you were in the police force.
Yes.
Oh, maybe you can take us through that. How was it like? What was that business? How was it like? And your experience with doing business while serving still in the police force?
The first business I did was, I was still a young officer, a cadet officer, probably 6 months at my place of work. Entebbe police station and its barracks, we had about 200 personnel. And I was the officer in charge station, so I was in charge of the personnel, their welfare. And one of the things I realized, Entebbe being an expensive town, at that time, I don't know now, it's still expensive.
No, because you stayed there, so you still know until today.
Yes. Entebbe is relatively a little bit expensive than Kampala, because most of the things that go there, especially food stuff, they have passed through Kampala. So you understand that. And then I would go to buy food elsewhere, and I said no. So one of the things I did was an effort to make sure that I bring food to the police officers at a cheaper
At a cheaper price.
At a cheaper price. And that means, and coming from Shema is a food basket for Uganda, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
Not only Shema, but maybe that part of southwestern Uganda.
Very true.
So an idea was born in my mind. Supposing I bring food, especially matoke, I bring it to police officers. Instead of buying matoke, I think that time matoke was 3,000 or something like that. This is 1990.
Oh.
Yes, it was 5,000. Maybe I would sell it to them at 3,000. At 3,000. So through the fact that I was now going to most ministries had headquarters, were headquartered in Entebbe.
Yes.
I'm talking about lands, I'm talking about health, I'm talking about Ministry of Works.
Yes.
I'm talking about public service. All these ministries were in Entebbe. And here I was, because I was providing security services to these ministries, so I was known to PSCs who were staying in Entebbe. I was known to different people. So I went there and requested them to give me a lorry. Give me a lorry. I want to bring food to my police officers so that they buy at a cheaper price. I will put in fuel.
Oh.
So they give me a lorry. I go to Shema. I
bring.
cut matoke, 450 bunches, put them on a Tata lorry. I put fuel, bring to the barracks. Everybody has bought whatever is balance. I go and sell it in the markets around.
Wow.
After 1, 2, 3, 4 times,
Yes.
I don't want to take you into that story so much.
Yes.
Then I had also established, because we have so many landing sites in Entebbe, and I saw there was business in fish, in Kasingye, and then there's another landing site in Nachiwogo, and I saw people bringing, agricultural produce from islands, pineapples, this and that. So I used the money and I bought a pickup.
Wow.
A Hilux pickup.
Yes.
And I put a driver. You would go to Kasingye in the morning, that's when fish is coming, and pick fish, take it to Owino Market, Chengera and elsewhere, sell it. And then I had a brother who had finished Makerere University, was seated at home waiting for public service results, interview results, and I put him in that car. In the evening, they would come to Nachiwogo, pick pineapples and everything, take them to the same market.
Okay.
Again, this was the good relationship. And then, because I was also dealing with different communities, taxi drivers and all that, they came to me and said, "But Afande, why don't you invest in this
Taxis.
minibus, this bus taxi business?"
Kamunye.
And I said, "I don't have money to buy a Kamunye. Kamunye probably was something like 10 million.
Yes.
Okay? And they said, no, you don't need to start with a new one. We can take you where someone can sell you, and then you pay Chibanja Mpola." First time I had Chibanja Mpola. So I did that, and I got a minibus at 6.5 million.
Wow.
Okay?
Yes.
This was 1992.
92 now.
This is 1992. That was my first minibus. By the time I went through minibuses, in 2002, that's when I sold my last minibus. My minibus, I had something like 10 minibuses.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear people still think I do minibuses and whatever. No.
So you don't.
I left that long time
Phased
ago.
out because it was challenging, or because you grew
No,
to
I wanted
another?
to go to another level.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I wanted to go to another
level.
and which I did. So all this is, if you are a police officer providing good services to the public, if you're not corrupt, if you are quick at making sure that you handle complaints within communities,
Yes.
if you meet people within communities, they will tell you how you can make a business that can
serve them.
that can help you to, even if you are not going to put all your time in it, it runs by itself. You can supervise, but not every day.
Yeah, because I realize the greatest challenge or serving in the police itself requires a lot of commitment and a lot of dedication and a lot of time. So I am looking at how best you balance between the work vis-a-vis the business. How are you able to do it, or how is one able to do it while serving in places like those that are highly demanding and need a lot of commitment and time?
I think it is all about your attitude. If your attitude is right, and if you understand how that business runs, you are going to have the right people. But always don't take your eye away from the business. Keep your eye on the business. I had those minibuses, but every day you had to come and report. There are people who wait for that minibus to report once. There are people even who don't see their vehicle because I don't want to be seen as if this vehicle belongs to me. The driver
Undercover.
will study you very well, and he will take advantage of that. You will definitely have to put your eye, never put your eye off a business.
Of a business.
Never at all.
Yeah.
You can even pretend as if you are putting your eye when actually maybe you have too much. But always put your eye there. Run an account books and understand that this vehicle is supposed to bring this and this and this. Look, I sat in garages to have my yes.
Oh, you did.
If the vehicle is going to do service, when do we do service? We do service Sunday. You come and pick me. We go to a petrol station. They do service and I pay. And then you drive your vehicle. This business of I have done service. I don't know whether you have done service. People have had their vehicles knock engines.
Yes.
People have had their vehicles do service once in a month.
Yeah, true.
Yet a minibus is supposed to do service every week. So don't take your eye
off the business.
Yeah. That is one of the things that you can do even when. But Rajire, do not involve yourself because you are a police officer. Your vehicle has been arrested by a police officer somewhere, and then in about 30 minutes you have already arrived. Why are you? Please, I used to tell my driver, if you are stopped by a police officer and you mention my name, and I used to tell these officers there, if anybody tells you that the vehicle is mine, impound that vehicle.
Oh.
Yes, because something happened at one time. I gave my business card to someone who went and photocopied business cards and sold those business cards. Each business card was selling 10,000 to different drivers. So a taxi stopped somewhere, and then this driver comes up with it and says, "Motoka ya Afande Kasingye." Motoka ya Afande Kasingye. Do you understand?
Wow.
At one time, people thought that really I was a tycoon. I had
so many taxis.
And then I came out and said, anybody saying the vehicle is mine, impound that vehicle. And it happened at Old Kampala. The vehicle was impounded. Fortunately, I was not in uniform.
Yeah.
I was in civilian. And the OC traffic, I still remember him. It's Tom Opio. He was an inspector. He called me and said, "Afande, we have impounded your vehicle here." The driver had put in a lot of. I said, "What is the number?" He reads me the number. I said, "I'm coming." 20 minutes from police headquarters. I was in Old Kampala, and I found this man seated there with a beard up to here, an old man older than me, and I asked him. I said, "Ene motoka ya Afande Kasingye?" He said, "Yeah, Afande Kasingye."
He doesn't even know you.
Afande Kasingye mumanyi. Sure. Anatamanyi mukamawe.
Oh God.
Then I said, okay. Then I removed my police warrant card, and said,
arrested him.
I am that Afande Kasingye. So since the vehicle is mine,
I'm taking it.
Give me the key. Park the vehicle there. I will come and pick it anytime I want.
This is interesting.
And the vehicle was parked there for 2 weeks. As a punishment. Wow. 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks.
For the rest to learn.
Yes, you said the vehicle is mine. Yeah. The owner came to me and I said, hold on, you have been having a vehicle that has been attributed to me, and this is the bad publicity that I'm getting, and therefore let it be there. I'm sorry, those who are watching me, I did that. Those who are watching me, I did that to teach a certain lesson. However, my point is, do not bring your powers and a police officer into your business. Put trusted people. Don't put your eye off, but don't get conflict of interest. Don't get conflict of interest in as far as your business. I don't know what business you are going to do, but make sure you avoid those scenarios where your name is likely to be tainted because of that.
That's Ugandans are Ugandans.
Yes.
Ugandans are Ugandans. You photocopy a business card just because you want. Wow, I have been blown away.
Yes.
And
even when I went to lorries, because when I finished minibuses, then I said, okay, let me invest in lorries, and I grew them really from one lorry, and again out of a good name. I didn't have money to buy a lorry. Because the businesses had sold them because I wanted also to build a house. So I put the money in building a house where I stay in now. So after that, then I didn't have any capital to start a business. But someone who had known me, was seeing me everywhere on TV. He agreed to give me a lorry, and the second one, and the third one. They were all running on a credit. On the dates, and by the time COVID came in and hit the industry, I had 10 lorries. Okay, but again the same thing was happening. Every lorry anywhere was
belonged to Asan.
Belonged to me. That is what police officers must look out for, but they can do businesses without tarnishing their names and somebody taking advantage of that.
So how has given that you've done the law, now you've done the business, so how has policing itself, the fact that you've worked in the police and experienced this, how has it influenced the way you look at business?
The police.
Yes.
Okay. I think the first important thing about any business is the environment around you. I have seen businesses run because they are so and so's business, so people attach name
to the business. I'll support because it's for a fund.
Yes, because it is so and so. I think one of the things that are going to be influenced by the fact that you are in the police is, who are you and what's like, are you writing a legacy? What are those things that people know you of? And if people appreciate who you are, it's all going to be about your professionalism. It's about going to be your discipline, about your service, about all this. Who is going to give you credit to put things you may not be having capital, but who is going to say, no, take everything, take this stuff, you will pay? It's because they trust you. If you are a person they write every day in the media, you're a bad police officer, you torture people, you can't be trusted, they will not trust you in business.
They won't. Yes,
okay?
True.
Right? So one thing that you learn is that the perception people have is generally on the police. The perception cannot be on an individual police officer unless you are bad. So one thing you learn is that people want to deal with you. People want to relate with you. Not because they want an advantage anywhere, but they feel better because you are so and so and they want to work with you. Okay? So that is one thing that you get. The other one is you have a place of work. You're known. You're doing some business. Even your bank knows. You understand? You're a police officer of repute. So if I am going to grow my business, but I want more capital, it becomes easier for you to go to a bank and get that good loan, okay, from the bank because of who you are. Again, social capital to me is very, very, very important.
And very important.
It's very, very important. I may not have the security that they want, but at the same time, I have that social capital.
That social capital.
And I'm going to get that business. It could be business, any other business, could be supply of something to the other institutions. If you go there, how are they going to give you that business when you're not a trusted officer? There is that feeling of giving back to somebody who has been also serving them.
Yes, yes.
You understand that?
Yeah, yes.
Have you ever looked for a place of your child in schools? You want a big school, and you find your child has not got, maybe they want a 5, your child has a 7.
Yeah, 7.
And then when you go there, they say, there is no way we can refuse to give your child a place because you have served us.
A good turn deserves the other. The good that you give comes back.
Served us.
Yes.
Leave your child here, go and pay. This is the admission.
Wow.
Go and pay. Because of who you have been. It
Yes.
is the same thing in the business.
Yes.
Even if you have a lot of money, there's nobody who is going to trust dealing with you or giving you deals if you've not been a very good police officer or living very well within the communities.
Your reputation goes before you.
Lastly, the police teaches you to try to understand. You have like a 6th, 7th sense of whether you are dealing with the right people or whether you are not dealing with the right people. That's now how police helps you to run a certain business.
Yes.
When I was the director of Interpol, I used to understand who brings fake products, where do they get them from, how do they evade taxes,
Yes.
or those who take drugs and whatever, and then they come with the clean stuff. But while they are going, they go with drugs. They go with animal products. They go with all sorts of illicit stuff, and then they import the kind of things that you clean. In business, there is also that world. There is a black world which the person outside there does not see. I come to your shop and buy a nice suit, but while you were going, you went with drugs, and that business may not be tenable.
Yeah,
Okay,
true.
so as a police officer, you kind of understand the kind of networks and people you deal with and where you get these things from. You can ask. It is very easy to get the information. And I think really any police officer who does business and then they find you are dealing in data business, you should be you should be blamed, you yourself, because you're a police officer. You can.
Did you handle at one point, maybe to just ask that, where you have a police person, just because of their nature of work, they took advantage or they take advantage and deal maybe in some of those things, and then you choose to discipline them, or they get away with it for the time you were in police?
My workers?
Yes, like police officers. Like, because I see it's a thin line. It's possible that it can happen or not happen, but because you have the authority, you have the power, you're the first people. So at a point of you, back to what we're talking about, a conflict of interest, where this is a very good deal, but it's a dirty deal. But because by virtue of you knowing that I know the people in power, like I can take, do you have such circumstances arise? Did you ever meet any of those? Or it's just a gray area that...
I think that is wrong. It's issues to do with ethics and,
yes,
and integrity. If you want to use your office as a police officer to do dirty things, I can assure you, you will lose both. You will lose being a police officer, or you will lose opportunities for advancement.
Yes, yes.
But you can also lose that business. So it is advisable that you do clean business.
Oh.
Pay your taxes, let your business be known, and when people know that you are doing the right thing, they will not disturb, they will not say you are corrupt. Many police officers do different things.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and if anybody finds me driving a huge car or whatever, if what comes to their mind is that you store money, you are corrupt, and that's what comes in their mind, is because probably you are not a trusted person. Your ethics, your integrity had issues. But when the people know that you have been doing, a business, and that's your business, it is known. We have police officers who are engineers.
Yeah, true.
We have police
The
officers
cadets.
have police officers who are medical, who are doctors. They have clinics.
Oh,
You understand?
Yes.
I may be a police officer here and serving as a medical doctor. Maybe I'm a dentist within the police. This does not stop me from having a clinic.
Yes.
For
Dental.
services. Okay.
Yes.
So do clean business. Do not get involved in dirty
The data businesses.
in the data businesses. However, my running in business, like transport, helped me in so many ways. But one of them, drivers.
Yes.
A driver, you tell him, my vehicle is on Entebbe, Kampala Road. The next thing, one time, they called me and said, your vehicle got an accident in Chiboga.
Oh.
What had the vehicle gone to do in Chiboga? It was coming from Hoima. How come the driver just took the vehicle
Diverted.
there? But this was a new driver.
Yes.
One thing that helps you as a police officer is put this notion that if you take my vehicle to Iganga, the police officers will tell me, they already know my number and that kind of thing. That can help you to discipline your own people.
Yes.
Some invisibility that you know exactly what is going on.
Yes.
All right? Yeah, but otherwise, do not get involved in dirty deals.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, picking up from your exposure to who are the people that are doing business out there, who are the good people to deal with, what businesses are running out there, and for it to be able to prepare us for, I know you are at a point where you transited already from the active service in the police force to now retirement. And some of these experiences and the encounters are things that were meant to give us the experience and also help us move on life after. Now that maybe we can look into now the life after police force, the life of retirement.